What happens when a governor's 24-year-old son throws scalding hot soup in the face of a 71-year-old Vietnam veteran waiter because his meal arrived 2 minutes late, then tries to call his mother, the governor, during his court hearing? This entitled young man is about to learn that some phone calls go on speaker, and some mothers choose justice over sons. It's a Friday evening at Belvita, an upscale Italian restaurant in downtown Providence. Thomas Martinez, 71, a Vietnam veteran, has worked here as a waiter for 8 years since his wife passed away. Thomas served in Vietnam from 1969 to 1972, earning 2 Purple Hearts after being wounded twice. After his wife died from cancer in 2016, he couldn't sit at home alone. At 71, Thomas is slower than younger waiters, but he's professional, kind, and customers request his section. At 8:15 p.m., a party of 4 is seated in Thomas's section. What Thomas doesn't know is that one of them is Jason Carter, 24, son of Rhode Island Governor Elizabeth Carter. Thomas approaches professionally. "Good evening, gentlemen. Welcome to Belvita. My name is Thomas." Jason doesn't look up from his phone. "We're in a hurry. We have club reservations at 9:30. Take our orders now." Jason orders without eye contact. "Lobster bisque, then filet mignon, medium rare, and make sure it's actually medium rare. The kitchen is busy." Friday night, every table full. 7 minutes later, Thomas emerges carrying 4 bowls of lobster bisque. Steam rises. He moves carefully. At 71, carrying hot soup requires caution. He approaches table 12. "Gentlemen, your lobster bisque. Please be careful. It's very hot." Jason glances at his phone. "It's been 9 minutes. I said I was in a hurry. My apologies, sir. The kitchen prepared everything fresh. I don't care about excuses." Jason picks up his spoon, tastes the bisque, and slams it down. This is lukewarm. Thomas is confused. Steam is literally rising from the bowl. "Sir, I assure you the soup just came from the kitchen. Are you calling me a liar?" And that's when Jason picks up the bowl of scalding hot lobster bisque, 180 degrees, steam still rising, and throws the entire contents directly into Thomas's face. The 71-year-old veteran screams. The soup hits his face, neck, and chest. Skin immediately blisters. Thomas stumbles backward, pain excruciating. The entire restaurant stops. Customers scream. The manager sprints over. Jason is laughing. "Maybe next time you'll bring hot soup when someone asks for it, old man." Thomas writhes on the floor. His face is bright red, blistering, forming. The manager kneels beside him. "What is wrong with you?" Jason adjusts his jacket. "I brought lukewarm soup. I'm a paying customer. Do you know who I am? My mother is Governor Elizabeth Carter." One phone call, and this restaurant loses every license. Other diners are recording on their phones, multiple cameras capturing Jason's threats. Thomas's agony. Providence police arrive. Officer Jennifer Walsh finds Thomas being treated by paramedics, visible blistering across his face and neck. "Sir, what happened?" Walsh asks Jason. "This waiter brought cold soup and was disrespectful. He got clumsy and spilled it." Jason replies. "A diner stands." "That's a lie. I recorded everything. This man threw the soup directly in the waiter's face." Walsh reviews the video, crystal clear. Jason picking up the bowl, throwing it directly at Thomas's face. "Sir, you're under arrest for assault causing serious bodily injury." "You can't arrest me. My mother is Governor Elizabeth Carter. She controls state police, state budgets. Your boss works for her. I suggest you reconsider, sir. Turn around." Walsh handcuffs him. "My mother literally signs your paychecks. One phone call and you're directing traffic." Jason protests. Thomas is taken to Rhode Island Hospital. Second-degree burns cover his face and neck, about 18% of his upper body. At 71, burn injuries are especially serious. Scarring is likely permanent. Within hours, witness videos are posted online. By morning, 1 million views. By noon, 4 million. By evening, 9 million. The footage shows Jason deliberately throwing soup, Thomas screaming, blisters forming, and Jason laughing while threatening police about his governor mother. Justice for Thomas trends nationwide. Veterans organizations issue statements. 3 days later, Jason appears before Judge Frank Caprio. He's charged with assault causing serious bodily injury, making terroristic threats, and witness intimidation. The courtroom is packed. News cameras line the media section. Veterans groups fill entire rows, wearing purple heart pins, Vietnam veteran caps, and service medals. Restaurant workers sit in uniform, showing solidarity with Thomas. Everyone wants to see how justice handles a governor's son who assaulted a decorated combat veteran. Thomas Martinez sits in the front row, his face still heavily bandaged from second-degree burns. The bandages cover his forehead, both cheeks, and neck. Even through the bandages, redness and swelling are visible. His wife's empty chair sits beside him, a reminder she died from cancer, and he took the waiter job to cope with loneliness. His daughter sits on the other side, holding his hand. Jason walks in wearing an expensive three-piece suit, probably costing more than Thomas earns in 3 months. A designer watch glints under the courtroom lights, hair perfectly styled. He walks with confidence, even arrogance, as if this is a minor inconvenience to be resolved quickly. Behind him walks his attorney, David Morrison, from Providence's most expensive law firm, carrying boxes of legal documents, projecting the expensive competence wealthy families rely on when facing legal trouble. Judge Caprio looks up from his paperwork, already familiar with the viral video that 9 million people have watched. Mr. Carter, you're charged with assault causing serious bodily injury against Mr. Thomas Martinez, a 71-year-old Vietnam veteran. You're also charged with making terroristic threats to police officers. How do you plead? Morrison stands. Not guilty, Your Honor. The evidence will show this was an accident, Mr. Morrison. I asked your client, Mr. Carter. Judge Caprio interjects. Jason stands, adjusting his expensive suit. Not guilty. This whole thing is ridiculous. Some waiter brought cold soup. I complained. He got clumsy. Now I'm being charged like a criminal because of who my mother is. The gallery reacts with angry murmurs. Mr. Carter, let's watch the video that 9 million people have seen. The courtroom monitors display the restaurant security footage plus witness videos from multiple angles. Everyone watches in silence. The footage shows everything. Thomas professionally serving. Jason tasting the soup. Jason picking up the full bowl with both hands. Jason throwing the scalding soup directly at Thomas's face. The soup hitting him. Thomas screaming and collapsing. Blisters forming immediately. Jason laughing. Jason threatening staff about his mother being governor. When the videos end, the courtroom is silent. Mr. Carter, that video shows you deliberately throwing scalding hot soup in Mr. Martinez's face. It shows you laughing while a 71-year-old veteran screamed in pain. How is this ridiculous? Jason shrugs. The angle makes it look worse than it was. The soup wasn't that hot. He's exaggerating for attention. Old people do that for sympathy. The gallery erupts. Thomas, sitting with bandages across his face, closes his eyes. Thomas testifies, his voice steady despite the visible pain. Your Honor, I've been a waiter at Belvita for 8 years. Before that, I served in the Providence Fire Department for 35 years, running into burning buildings to save people. Before that, I served in Vietnam from 1969 to 1972. I was wounded twice in combat and earned 2 Purple Hearts. He gestures toward Jason. That night, I was doing my job professionally. Mr. Carter ordered lobster bisque. The kitchen prepared it fresh. It takes time to do properly. 7 minutes later, I brought it to his table. The soup was steaming hot, 180 degrees. Steam was visibly rising from the bowl. Thomas's voice softens. Mr. Carter tasted it, then claimed it was lukewarm. I was confused because steam was literally rising from the bowl before I could respond. He picked up the entire bowl with both hands and threw the scalding soup directly in my face. He touches his bandaged face gently. Your Honor, I'm 71 years old. The soup burned my face, my neck, my chest. I have second-degree burns across 18% of my upper body. The doctors say the scarring will be permanent. I spent 3 days in the hospital. I can't work for at least 2 months. At my age, burn injuries don't heal like they used to. His voice strengthens, but what hurt more than the burns was what happened next. Mr. Carter laughed. He laughed while I was on the floor screaming in agony. He called me old man and said, "Maybe next time you'll bring hot soup." Then he threatened the restaurant staff and police officers, saying his mother is the governor and would destroy everyone's careers. Thomas looks directly at Jason. I served this country in war. I served this city fighting fires for 35 years. I deserved better than being assaulted for doing my job. Officer Walsh testifies about Jason's threats. He said his mother is Governor Carter and controls state police budgets. He threatened my career multiple times. And that's when Jason makes the decision that will become the most viral moment in Providence courtroom history. He's sitting at the defendant's table, clearly frustrated with the proceedings. He pulls out his iPhone and starts tapping. The courtroom is silent, focused on testimony. Nobody notices at first, then Jason holds the phone to his ear. In the middle of the hearing, he's making a phone call. Judge Caprio finishes with the witness, then looks at Jason. "Mr. Carter, are you on a phone call during these proceedings?" Jason looks up, phone still to his ear. "Yes, I'm calling my mother. She needs to know what's happening here." "Mr. Carter, hang up that phone immediately." "Your Honor, my mother is the governor of Rhode Island. She has a right to know that her son is being railroaded by the bailiff." "Take Mr. Carter's phone." "You can't take my phone. I'm calling the governor." The bailiff steps forward. The phone is removed from Jason's hand. He struggles. "This is illegal. You can't interfere with a call to the governor." Judge Caprio takes the phone. The call is still connected. Who is on this line? A woman's voice comes through the speaker. "This is Governor Elizabeth Carter." "Who is this?" "Governor Carter, this is Judge Frank Caprio. Your son is in my courtroom facing assault charges, and he just called you in the middle of proceedings." Long pause. "I apologize, Judge Caprio. Jason should not have called me during court. Governor, I'm going to put you on speaker so we can address this matter publicly." Judge Caprio activates speakerphone. Governor Elizabeth Carter's voice fills the courtroom. "Governor Carter, your son is here facing charges for throwing scalding soup in a 71-year-old Vietnam veteran's face. During witness testimony, he called you. Before I took the phone, I heard him say, 'You need to know he's being railroaded.' Would you like to address this court?" Another long pause. When Governor Carter speaks, her voice carries weight. "Your Honor, I've watched the videos that millions of Americans have seen. I watched my son throw scalding soup at Mr. Martinez. I watched Mr. Martinez collapse in pain. I watched my son laugh. I heard my son threaten police officers using my position." Jason tries to interrupt. "Mom, this judge is, I'm calling to tell you to treat my son exactly as you would any other defendant who assaulted a veteran and threatened police officers." "Mom, what are you doing?" "What I should have done years ago, Jason. I'm choosing the man you hurt over the son who hurt him." Governor Carter continues, her voice unwavering. "Your Honor, my son threw scalding soup at a man who served in Vietnam. A man who earned 2 Purple Hearts defending our country. A man who spent 35 years as a firefighter saving lives. And my son laughed while he screamed." She pauses. "I am also announcing my resignation as governor of Rhode Island, effective in 30 days. I cannot serve the people of this state while my own son endangered one of our veterans and threatened police officers using my authority." Jason is crying. "Mom, no. Don't resign. I'm sorry." "Sorry isn't enough anymore, Jason. Mr. Martinez will carry scars from what you did for the rest of his life. You face real consequences now." The call ends. The video clip, Jason calling his mother during court, Judge Caprio putting Governor Carter on speaker, the governor choosing the veteran over her son and announcing her resignation, goes viral. 12 million views in 18 hours, Judge Caprio delivers sentence, Jason Carter. You threw scalding soup at a 71-year-old Vietnam veteran. You laughed while he screamed. You threatened police officers. You called your mother during court proceedings. Your sentence, 18 months in county jail, 800 hours of community service at VA hospitals, 3 years probation, formal apology to Mr. Martinez, and you are banned from every restaurant in Providence for 5 years. 6 months later, Jason meets Thomas at the VA hospital where he's been volunteering as part of his community service. The scars on Thomas's face are still visible, permanent reminders of that night. The blistering healed, but the skin on his forehead and cheeks shows darker patches where the second-degree burns were deepest. Mr. Martinez, I threw scalding soup in your face because I was upset about a 2-minute wait. I laughed while you screamed in pain. I called you names. I threatened your job and the restaurant. I called my mother during court, expecting her to fix everything. I'm sorry. Thomas responds with the quiet dignity that comes from a lifetime of service. Jason, I didn't serve in Vietnam and fight fires for 35 years so governors' sons could assault waiters without consequences. I served so everyone could be equal under the law. Your mother understood that. Judge Caprio understood that. Now you understand it too. That phone call, the one Jason thought would save him, became the moment that taught him the most important lesson of his life. That's justice. That's integrity. That's the legacy of Judge Frank Caprio and Governor Elizabeth Carter.